What you see on the table are knives. Knives that I've collected over the years, and knives that all mean a great deal to me. But these are very indicative of the types of knives that you see in reviews everywhere on YouTube. K-Bar, there's a Benchmade H&K series, CRKT, Spyderco, Kershaw, Buck, Cold Steel. That's a first generation Cold Steel Voyager, large. Love that knife, still holds a great edge. That knife is about 15 years old now. So as you can see, I've been collecting knives and I've been a knife enthusiast for a long time. But I'm not going to be talking about any of those brands of knives. They're all wonderful knives, but I want to bring to the table a knife that isn't reviewed very often. And that is a knife made by Smith & Wesson. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, oh my God, Smith & Wesson, they should stick to guns. And I agree. You know, for a lot of reasons I agree. But this knife is an exception, and I really, really like it. Here we go. Enter. Alright, so enter the Smith & Wesson Black Ops. This knife I have carried the absolute crap out of. And in the words of one of my favorite reviewers here on YouTube, Nothing Fancy, this has some extreme Boba Fetting to it. This knife I have been carrying, got off and on, but a lot, for probably a year and a half. And you can see the coating on the blade is wearing off really, really badly. The coating on the handles is just, I mean, destroyed. But I love this knife, and I'm going to tell you a few reasons why here in a minute. But first, I'm going to go over some of the specifications of this knife and that kind of thing, and we'll go over that stuff. So, okay, so handle material. I think this is an aluminum handle. I'm not exactly sure. Painted for certain. Not the most durable paint, but like I said, I've carried the heck out of this knife. But it is painted aluminum. Blade shape, typical drop point. This blade is 40-34 steel, which is mystery. No one really knows too much about the steel. This steel, from what I've read online, is kind of garbage. But that's through reports. I love this steel. I love the blade retention. I love the edge retention. It's strong. I have hammered the heck out of this knife, opening boxes, cutting cardboard, cutting paper, cutting wood. Yes, cutting wood. And it has held an edge. I don't know how well you can see that or not. If probably not well at all, frankly. Let me bust out my Streamlight Pro again here. But it's got a beautiful edge. If you get past that Boba Fetting there on the blade coating, just beautiful edge on that knife. Beautiful edge. So I've had no problems with the steel. It hasn't rusted. Now, of course, it's coated, but I haven't had any rusting on the edges. It has gotten wet. I have dropped it in puddles. I've dropped it in the front lawn and left it there overnight. I've had no problems. This is an assisted opening knife, almost an auto. It's got this little button here that you press, and boom, out swings your blade. It also has ambidextrous thumb studs that you can use to deploy it as well. And works really well. Works really, really well. Weight, it's heavy. 8.3 ounces. Pretty heavy for an EDC blade. But I'm going to bring in another offshot here. For realistic, everyday use, this is my EDC blade / emergency tactical blade. And here's why. This little button that you use to deploy the blade can be used as an awesome thumb ramp. Now, it's not a ramp, of course, but it stops your thumb. Decent finger choil. There's some jimping on the liner lock there, but there's some jimping along the spine of the blade as well. So, and it's grippy. It grips your thumb. It's well designed. Now, as a battering tool, you could use it either way. It is heavy. I mean, albeit it is heavy, but it's well constructed. When you open this knife, you feel like you've got a substantial knife. Now, also, what I want to say is when you I have hammered on this knife, and there is no blade play, up or down, left or right. I've taken it apart, I've cleaned it, I've oiled it, I've taken care of the knife, but it has taken care of me too, and I have used this countless times, and I can't tell you how much I've really enjoyed this knife. Yeah, it's Smith & Wesson. Yeah, it's the Black Ops. This is the SW BLOP 3CP. Yeah, right. I mean, it's a Smith & Wesson knife. About 50 bucks at a local Academy store, and I have carried the snot out of this knife, and it still comes back and asks for more. So, I highly recommend this knife. If you've seen them in the store and you've looked at them and laughed and thought, oh gosh, I'll take a Kershaw or I'll take a CRKT over that, well, consider it. I really would highly recommend this knife. It's just, it's great. One other thing I forgot to mention is this, there's a safety button here that if that's engaged, you can't open the blade. I have disabled that because I've never had this blade open when I didn't want it to. So I disabled that, just took an extra step out of it because I was using it as a, you know, somewhat emergency defensive knife. So that's about it. I would really recommend this knife. This is my first knife review, so please subscribe, post your comments and criticisms, let me know what you think. All right? Peace out, everybody. Frostbyte.